Last year's wild GT XX concept gave us a first taste of Mercedes' first electric vehicle developed from day one by AMG. Before you bring out the pitchforks, we haven't forgotten that the performance subsidiary has had EVs in the past, most notably the SLS AMG electric drive. There are also the more recent EQ-badged cars tuned in a falterback, but all were originally Mercedes models before getting the AMG treatment. Less than a year after the concept, Mercedes-AMG takes us inside the production model. The second-generation GT four-door coupe retains its complicated name but adopts a radically different interior. In keeping with recent models bearing the famous three-pointed star, the electric super sedan has an all-screen dashboard. Echoing the new CLA and the S-Class facelift, the displays have thick bezels instead of the continuous screen found in the electric GLC. We honestly can't make up our mind which setup we prefer, but we're already missing the more traditional dashboard layout of the car's gas-fueled predecessor. The triple-screen layout positioned behind a glass panel features a 10.2-inch digital instrument cluster alongside a pair of 14-inch screens. The infotainment display is slightly tilted toward the driver to mimic the ambience of a cockpit, while the identically sized screen to its right keeps the front passenger entertained with multimedia content. The new high-performance EV has far fewer conventional buttons and switches than the V8 car before it, after Mercedes-AMG integrated the climate controls into the center display. On the bright side, there are 3 rotary knobs mounted on the center console to change the electric motor's response, the 9-stage traction control, and cornering behavior. Like the infotainment and central air vents, the switches are also angled toward the driver. Elsewhere, it's business as usual, including touch-sensitive keys on the steering wheel. Mercedes also fitted an extra screen at the back of the center console so the 2 rear passengers can adjust the climate settings. Although it's built on a dedicated electric car platform, the new GT four-door coupe appears to have a large hump in the floor that robs rear passengers of legroom. Although the interior images show a 4-seat layout, there will also be an option for a 5-seat configuration. In both cases, the backrests fold down for when you have to carry bulky items. Practicality should be more than decent given the car's size and the 5-door liftback shape carried over from the first generation. As if the AMG crests adorning the front headrests weren't obvious enough, the famous logo is also supersized on the glass sunroof. The apple tree by the river, symbolizing AMG's location in a falterback, lights up together with the cams, valves, and valve springs. Even though the car doesn't have a combustion engine, this one-piece glass surface extends all the way to the back and has dimmable sections, allowing those inside to choose how much light enters the cabin. We'll have to wait a bit longer to see the production-ready exterior, but last year's concept likely wasn't far off the final product. As for technical specifications, the GT XX rocked a triple motor setup with a combined 1,341 horsepower, enabling a top speed in excess of 224 miles per hour, 360 kilometers per hour. The concept was also a charging monster, capable of supporting more than 850 kilowatts to put enough juice back in the battery for 249 miles, 400 kilometers, after only 5 minutes. Mercedes-AMG is also cooking up an SUV with the GT four-door coupe's hardware for those who prefer more comfort instead of sitting so close to the road. Expect to see it break cover sometime next year, after the 5-door liftback hits the market before the end of 2026.